Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs, aka Rick Rude Von Dick Dude, aka Robert Von Daubert. All hail the King of Ginger Ale. It's Ryan. Davey, how are you?
COVID free for day 3.
Don't jinx yourself.
I'm starting. I'm knocking on wood. I've started yelling at my family at this point. I've locked myself in this very room.
Okay, good.
Just trying to stay out of the way.
Distance. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear Idris Elba's got it now?
Poor guy. He's a strapping buck, though. He'll come through it.
I think he's gonna come out the other side.
He'll come through it. Yeah, for sure.
Stringer Bell, Forrest Gump. I feel like no one's safe.
I know.
I feel like no one's safe.
National treasures.
What I found weird about the video was it his daughter that was like right behind him, and he's like, "Yeah, like I'm covered in coronavirus," and he's like, "My daughter's here. She hasn't been tested." I'm like, maybe she should not be touching you,
or just like be next to you, whatever. What
I didn't really understand that part. That seemed a little odd to me. I'll be honest.
Super odd, super weird, super.
What do
weird,
I know,
unsafe.
Ryan? I'm not a famous person.
You're not a famous person, no.
But people are going to be looking for things to do, and here's what we're going to be doing. Even right now, at this very moment, you can stream these episodes. We normally record Monday nights, probably around 8:45, so like 8:45. You can
around there,
right around there, right? Yep. You can sort of pencil us in for about an hour, and you can watch the episode. You can comment. Maybe we'll take some questions at the end. Just something, take your mind off things just a little bit. Ryan's drinking a nice ginger ale.
It's not a ginger ale. This is
what is that?
This is a please sponsor me moment.
Oh God, that didn't take long.
Liquid Death sparkling water. It's the most
Liquid
metal.
Death.
It's the most metal water you can drink from the Austrian Alps.
What on
Liquid
earth?
Death.
What flavor is that?
It's just fucking sparkling water, man.
Just like club soda, just like a.
Yep, and they got these awesome koozies that I have. They're sitting in the mailroom right now, but I can't get them.
Okay.
And they look like little paper bags, but they're koozies.
Okay.
So you're hammering this tall boy of that's Liquid Death. Murder your thirst is what they say.
Can you really quench a thirst with club soda?
24 for 17 ounces of it? Sure can.
No,
tall boy?
I don't think you can,
Ryan. Yeah, you can.
Ryan, that's enough of the small talk. What do you say we get to this the news?
That isn't the news?
No, this is the news.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And here's the thing. Since we last spoke, a number of movies have been postponed due to the coronavirus.
You hate to see it.
Including A Quiet Place, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, The New Mutants, if you can believe it.
If you can believe it.
That's the 5th time I believe it's been postponed. This movie was supposed to come out over 2 years ago.
2018, right? It was supposed to come out?
Yep.
In the spring?
April of 18, and it's been pushed like 4 times, and just enough is enough. Like, release that one on Disney Plus or something.
Just do it.
Mulan has been postponed. Antlers has been postponed. And Fast and the Furious 9 has been postponed. Stinks.
Bummer. Just a real bummer out there,
I know you wanted to see all those, Ryan.
I wanted to see all of them. Actually, I did want to see Antlers. I didn't want to see...
You're going to have to wait.
Another Fast and the Furious movie.
But here's the deal. This was my idea. Nobody else had this idea for the longest time. I said, this is kind of, in my mind, delaying the inevitable. Because what's going to happen is these movies are all going to get pushed. Some of them have release dates. Like Fast 9 is coming out next year. They're delaying a whole year.
Isn't it just F9 now?
F9.
Aren't they even get rid of like Fast and Furious? It's just
F9. Yeah, F9. People know what it is. But the other movies are all getting pushed to like the fall or something. And here's the thing. All of a sudden, you're going to have like a log jam of movies. So let's take Antlers, for instance, which had a pretty cool trailer, looked kind of good. But now what? Are you going to put it out during a week where like The Eternals is out or like Venom 2 is out? Like, you're going to put it up against something that you don't want to put it up against. So why not just send it to the home theaters,
or just put it out? And all horror movies come out in October, I feel like. So just put it out.
Put it out then.
Yeah.
So Universal has kind of stepped up, and they said, because of everything that's going on, we know people aren't going to the theater. In fact, a lot of theaters have just straight up been shut down. So we're gonna put these things at home. Now that includes The Invisible Man, which I want to see.
Which I do want to see, and I am going to see that now.
Let me ask you this though. $19.99. That's just a hair under $20 American.
Yep.
Too much, not enough, just enough.
Think of how much that would cost you if you went and actually went to the movies. You and the wife.
If you
that's
go
that's $20 just me.
$20 for you,
Just me. That's $20 easy.
because it sounds like a lot. Like you wouldn't rent a movie for $20, but this
No.
isn't what we're talking. We're not renting. You're not renting a movie.
We're not renting it. Well, you are renting it for it's like 48 hours or something like that. You are renting it, but it's like you're in the comfort of your own home.
Yep.
You're not going to get sick.
You're not going to get sick.
You're not going to, and
I'll tell you what.
I hate to say it, there's no violence is going to happen in my own home, other than people shouting insults at me, which happens.
I feel like you probably get ganged up on a little bit at your house.
I do. I'm the only one with a Y chromosome, which is so.
A Quiet Place Part 2. Now, they're not doing it with this movie, but if they were to do it with this movie, isn't that perfect? You watch it some night. I don't even like that goddamn movie.
Yeah.
But it's so quiet. You don't have to worry about the stupid idiot eating the popcorn in front of you and all that stuff.
I'm saying. And it's really going to bail me out because with a 3 and a 5-year-old girl, they have Invisible Man and the new Trolls movie, Trolls World Tour. So now I'm out of jail free for 2 days because those kids are just going to eat that shit up.
Now, were your daughters excited that Frozen 2 came on Disney Plus a little early?
So there's a true story. So that came out on digital, like to buy, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so you already own it.
Oh yeah, my wife couldn't wait, and the reason she bought it, I was like, it's going to be on Disney Plus like next month, and she's like, I have to buy it now because my sister took the girls to go see it, and my little one kept trying to spoil it for my wife, and she's like, and she's yelling at a 3-year-old to not spoil the movie for her.
Well, you got to start them young with the no spoilers.
No spoilers. So yeah, so then we had to buy it, so we already have it. But I'm excited that Rise of Skywalker's on there now.
It is. Oh no, it's not on Disney Plus yet. I think they just released it on digital. I don't think it's on the service yet.
Not yet, but it's like it's available to rent or buy. Earlier. Yeah.
Well, and you can understand why a lot of these movie companies are kind of freaking out because did you see the box office this weekend, Ryan? Have you heard this? Have you seen about this? The number one movie at the box office was Onward, the animated movie Onward,
which I saw. Did I tell you I saw that?
You saw it? How'd you see it?
I did. I saw it with the girlies.
Oh wow!
It was a treasure. It's not the best Pixar movie, but it's my favorite.
It's your favorite Pixar movie?
Uh-huh.
How about that?
It's not the best one.
All right.
It's my favorite.
What's so good about it?
I really like the story. Plus, as much as like Chris Pratt used to be like the funniest dude on the planet, and then he kind of turned into a drip a little bit.
Yeah, I know. You've been very anti Chris Pratt.
Him and Tom Holland are actually really good together.
Okay.
And it tells a really cool story. It's a brother story, which is really cool. It gets you. They get you at the end.
Oh, did it get you?
It gets you.
Were you leaking?
Nope. What we call in the podcast the Pedroia eyes.
Yep.
Yeah,
a little bit of that. So Onward, no surprise that Onward was the number one movie, but it made $10.5 million,
which is a nosedive, right?
Which is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. The number two movie at the box office was I Still Believe,
which before I read that, I don't know what that is.
So it's a true story about like some musician. He might be like a Christian rock guy or something.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
The guy who is the lead,
pun intended.
The guy from Riverdale, Archie from Riverdale, is in this movie.
It's a God movie.
Number 3, Bloodshot,
which made what? If number one was 10 million, how much money did Bloodshot make?
9.3 million. Yeah. The Invisible Man, which had already been out for like a week or 2 weeks, maybe actually.
2 weeks, yeah.
That was 4th, and then The Hunt was 5th. And if you remember, The Hunt was delayed over a year.
Yeah,
it was a controversial film because Donald Trump like talked shit about it. It's basically another remake of The Most Dangerous Game.
Or Hunger Games, right? It's like them hunting people.
Well, yeah, The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah. With Ice-T.
Remember like the old book? There was a book.
Yeah. And then what was Surviving the Game was the movie with Ice-T and Rutger Hauer.
Well, and then there was The Pest with John Leguizamo.
Exactly, where they did that too. Exactly.
So it's kind of in that mold, and I think it's the girl from Glow, not Alison Brie, but like the other lead character,
Betty Gilpin.
Yeah, so she's in it. I guess apparently she's really good, but the movie, all the reviews are saying like they're trying not to like really offend left wing or right wing, so they kind of like make fun of both, I guess, and it's like doesn't really do much. And so anyway, it got like pushed after last year because it was supposed to come out, and there was like a couple of like mass shootings at the time, and then Trump said something about it, and then they like panic and pulled it. But now it's in theaters now, and then oddly enough, nobody can see it. But hey, that's the way it goes, huh?
At least you're not the New Mutants, right?
You're not the New Mutants.
You're not the New Mutants.
No, you're at least people have seen it.
Yeah.
Ryan, Wonder Woman 1984 released one of those moving posters. You like those?
Nope.
It's like Magic Eye, kind of.
I know what it is. Yeah.
You don't like it?
I don't care for it. I'm on the fence with this movie. I don't think I'm going to like this movie. I'm annoyed by the how long they've been doing this marketing thing for it. It seems like they've been doing this forever.
What do you want them to do? I mean, they're promoting a film, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wonder Woman. People like the first one. Not
People
you.
who like the first. I liked the first Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I did. I think I gave it like a 5.
It's a lot of stones.
It's a lot of stones.
The best news of the week. And listen, there's been a lot of bad news out there.
A lot of bad news.
You know, we're trying to bring you a little glimpse of good news. How about this? Scream 5 is reportedly in development.
Oh.
Yes.
The stabby guy's going to get, what's her name, in the nursing home now.
No, that's a terrible way of looking at it. That's a shit way of looking at it. What it is, what's a little concerning. The little article was like, no word on if it's going to be like a whole new cast or if they're bringing the old cast back. I'm like, well, then this is a nothing report.
This is nothing.
That's a pretty significant detail.
Yeah. I mean, if there's no report, then what you just said is it's a nothing.
It's a nothing sandwich with cheese.
No, there's no cheese there. It's just more disappointing. Like, hey, this movie's getting made. We don't know anything about it.
Scream 5, though. There was 4 of them. Now there's 5.
Now there's 5. And then there's the 5th one.
Yeah, but
and they're brothers.
Brothers. Solving crime.
Yeah.
Right. Dork Madness is rolling on.
Steam shipping along.
At Dork Podcast on Twitter, you can vote. We are almost to the Sweet 16, where I feel like we're finally going to get some super competitive matchups.
Finally. I mean, what is the one I just said? It was like Han Solo versus like Grand Moff Tarkin or something? Like, that's not even a fucking... What are we doing?
It was Rey versus Grand Moff Tarkin. Rey took him down. I thought Admiral Akbar, Lando Calrissian was going to be closer. It was not.
It was not close.
Lando won in a smoke. K2SO defeated Ahsoka Tano,
which is so just
that just proves people haven't seen
Clone Wars. Clone Wars, yeah. That was an upset for me.
I was surprised that Boba Fett beat Babu Frick.
I wasn't. Babu's a little too new, and he's not enough. I think they equal each other in screen time.
They might, but Babu Frick has like
he's got a cult following.
He is sweet.
He is sweet.
Who do you like in this Sweet 16 matchup, Ryan? I think this is telling. I think the winner of this could win the whole thing. Chewbacca versus Baby Yoda.
No, I think it's gonna. There's enough people who care enough about this. It's gonna come down to Vader and Solo. Han Solo.
Yeah. Well, they're on the same
Vader's gonna win.
Side of the bracket, though. So
that's gonna be a Final Four matchup.
Yep. And then Luke Skywalker and Yoda are on the other side. Those are all the ones.
It's going to be. It might be a Vader, Luke Skywalker final.
That's old school.
But I think
I like that.
Chewbacca and the child, because I refuse to call him Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
The child. That's going to be a. That's a barn burner.
What if I called him Baby Yo?
It's not his name.
I mean, the child's not really much of a name.
What would you call hear the news? I think I retweeted. What would I call him? The child. He doesn't have a name.
If you could name him, though, like you wouldn't, like you have 2 children and you don't call either one of them the child. Like you named both.
No, because I named them. Yeah.
Right. Would you? So if you could name them, and besides Stuart, what would it be? What
Yiddle.
Would you name? Neil.
Yiddle.
Oh, Yiddle.
So we get Yoda, Yada, and Yiddle.
Oh, come on. That's not.
Yo, you love it. You were just supposed to. That's great, but you didn't say it because you wanted to be contrarian. Yiddle. You don't like Yiddle?
Not really.
The people watching, I like Yiddle.
Nah, we're not getting anybody. Nobody's liking Yiddle so far.
He can practice the Schwartz.
Ryan, that's all the news that I got. Should we get to
Yogurt?
News? I'm not going to name him Yogurt. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. You're right.
All right, let's do some video game news.
Sure.
What do you got?
One thing and one thing only. We're going to skate to one thing. By the way, no, 2 things. Because of the COVID-19 coronavirus, E3 has been canceled.
Yep.
Which is kind of a big deal for developers. People have been working really hard this year to get some really like major games. Someone was asking me if I was going to play something, and I was like, dude, I gotta play Doom this month, and then after that, it's like Final Fantasy VII remake, and then after that, it's The Last of Us. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just gonna keep rolling on. Does this? I'm going to ask you a question.
All right, hit me.
If E3 is canceled this year, will there ever be another E3?
Yeah. Why not?
Because Sony's already pulled out of E3. Remember, Sony pulled out of E3 last year.
Yeah, but don't you hope that like next year everything's kind of back to normal?
No, I think what they're going to do is because they're all going to do like a streaming like live show thing, and they're all going to do their own thing. And I think people are going to find that that's much more profitable than actually setting up a thing at E3.
I don't like
because
that.
remember when Sony did their whole press conference last year?
Yeah,
like they did it on their own.
Yeah,
they didn't go to E3. I think a lot of companies are going to start doing that. So if E3,
you'll be right.
E3 might die, which sucks because we never went. We probably
no, we didn't. We probably wouldn't have gotten in.
No, we would have because they're not PAX.
Which
fucking PAX
was a disaster this year. I heard.
I hope PAX now. Yeah, did you hear people are getting sexually assaulted and coronavirus and chlamydia?
I did read about that. What?
Yeah.
What do they have?
I don't know. Herpes? I don't know. Something. Probably.
Most likely.
Probably, right?
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
All right. You got anything else?
Oh, yeah. So
Christ.
Me and Shaun rolling on playing Warzone. This is like it's the biggest thing right now. It's free to play if you guys haven't played Warzone yet. If you're not a big Call of Duty player, but you love Battle Royales, we were talking about it right before I jumped on the podcast. There's a lot of things that they did right with this game and a couple things that are kind of like, but like it's super fun. It is really, really fun.
I got to play it. I got to download it.
You do. And you can go for a float.
Oh, Christ.
A nice float.
I might do it after this episode, though.
Yeah, just download it and have some fun with it. One of the things that's really cool is the first time you get killed, if you killed right off the bat, you go into a gulag and you have to fight somebody one-on-one, and if you win, you get to come back.
How do you fight them?
They give you a gun. They give you a random gun. Yeah, and it's like in a little tiny arena, and it's it's fucking Thunderdome, and if you win, you get to come out.
I like that.
You only get it one time, but then people can buy you. Like in Fortnite and like in Apex, they can redeploy you.
Okay.
But you only go in the gulag. It's actually super fun. So
all right.
We're having a blast with it. And
so you're twitching a little bit too, by the way, right? So
yeah, we're back. We're back on the normal schedule.
Twitch.tv/RVonD. Again, if you're looking for anything to get you through these next few weeks, again, we're going to be streaming episodes once a week. Davey will be jumping on the Twitch every once in a while. He and Shaun. So give those guys a go.
The thing is, too, is it's getting me through.
Next 3,
I know. I hopefully 2-3 times a week I'll be jumping on there doing a bunch of stuff. I just downloaded Blair Witch, the Blair Witch game, which got outstanding marks. It came out in February.
I'll watch that. I mean, it might be too spooky for me.
It's supposed to be one of the scariest games.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
I'm gonna start doing that.
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
fine. You got me.
So that's it, man.
All right, Ryan. Let me ask you something. Are you ready for the topic du jour? Ryan,
yes.
Are you ready for the topic du jour?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the phrase.
Well, I'm glad you asked, and it is the topic of the day. And today, I don't know if this is this poor taste. The topic is best and worst apocalypse movies.
Yeah, we're gonna have to nail this down. We may be, but look what I have for the apocalypse thing.
Notes,
copious notes.
You made notes.
I made notes. Look, I even highlighted.
Wow. I feel like it's relevant, though. Like, I'm not trying to say...
We're not trying to be doom and gloom here, but like there's just a genre of movie that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah, we haven't done it yet, and it seems like... So, Ryan, what would you say qualifies as an apocalypse movie?
There has to be... most of the population has to be gone.
Yes.
Or transformed in some way.
Yes.
The
world has to... Humanity is facing... A grave situation.
And now we have to kind of discuss, as we've said before, like what this actually means. Now, it could be a disease.
Yep.
It could be war.
Okay.
But most of the population needs to go.
Yes.
Yes.
Could be sort of an unknown reason why they're gone, or at least for most of the movie, or it could be like just any kind of pandemic type of thing.
Yeah. Or I think not even so much like population wise, but society has to crumble. There can't be like any like centralized government or anything like that.
Right.
In these movies. So
the grid
I have a long list of movies that kind of I think qualify.
Let me ask you this. Does Infinity War or Endgame count?
It kind of does.
It kind of does. I was gonna say we've already talked a lot at length about both of those movies, but when I was looking up like what would qualify, I'm like, they both kind of do.
They kind of do.
I mean, at the end of Infinity War, half the population's gone.
Yeah.
So if anything does, they do. But I mean,
if you when the opening of Endgame, the world is just in shambles.
Yes. Yeah.
So like that's kind of a post-apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
That Marvel was an apocalypse.
Marvel did it better than everybody.
X-Men Apocalypse
does not count.
Does not count.
That was a shit burger with cheese.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So what do you want? You want to ping pong it? What do you want to do? I got a whole list here that I want to talk to you about.
I think we ping pong it.
We ping pong it?
I think I have mostly best, and then I have one in my head that's the worst.
I have a couple that are bad.
Okay. Do you want to do the quick couple that are horrible?
Yes.
So the worst one, at least that I've seen, is The Happening.
Oh God, yeah.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yep, that was on my list.
That one was so bad.
I have a 2-word review right here that just says shit sandwich.
Come on. It doesn't really say that. Actually, it might. That movie was so
bad.
What are the other shit ones that you have?
All of the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
I think there was one called Resident Evil. There was Afterlife, but wasn't there like Apocalypse? Extinction. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Terrible.
Movie, man.
Terrible. Yeah. All right. Give me one of your good ones.
One of my good ones. So this one, I think it's on Netflix right now, and it's one of the best like post-apocalyptic movies I've ever seen. That not a lot of people have seen. I bet people who are watching us right now. How many people we got right now?
We
19. Got a couple. Yeah,
it's all right. It's a soft launch.
It's soft launch. It's fine. People don't know, But anyway, Snowpiercer.
Oh yeah.
So the American or the Korean one, it doesn't matter. But like the idea of the movie is that everyone who is left in the world, there's like this apocalypse. The world is over. Nuclear winter. Like everything's frozen, and they're on a train that's solar powered. So the train just keeps going like forever. And the more wealthy you are, the closer to the front of the train you are. Mm-hmm. So all the poor people are in the back. Mm-hmm. And so there's like this thing that happens on the train where they try to get to, someone's spamming right now, 2012. Yeah, fuck that movie too, by the way.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's a bad one.
Or The Day After Tomorrow. That's another bad one too. But
also bad.
Snowpiercer is actually really good. Chris Evans, Jamie Bell, Tilda Swinton. I forget who else is in it, but the movie's actually really, really cool. So if you have not seen Snowpiercer, definitely check that out.
Also directed by the guy who did Parasite.
Yes. So and he did the Korean one as well. It was basically shot for shot.
Chris Evans is good. Yeah, that was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be on HBO because I definitely saw it when it was streaming.
It's on HBO or Netflix. It's on one of the, you can see it like right now.
And that one it's like a weird feeling, and like the fact that it's on this train, and then like it's pretty good. All right, one that I like and I've liked for a very long time. Back in when you and I both owned 1 million digital video discs, this was one of my early in my collection. 12 Monkeys.
Oh yeah, Terry Gilliam, 12 Monkeys.
I really like 12 Monkeys. So this came out in 1995, and the premise is in 1996 a virus was released that ends up like wiping out almost all of humanity, and it forces people to live underground. And then part of the movie takes place in the year 2035, and Bruce Willis is like a prisoner, and they want to send him back in time to before the virus comes out, like right before the virus comes out. And they actually send him back to like a couple of like wrong times and shit like that. And this is where you get Brad Pitt as in the loony bin. And I think he won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He was at least nominated.
He was nominated.
He might have won. He was great.
He was awesome.
great.
And this was the first time I remember seeing Brad Pitt as something other than like a pretty boy.
Just like
he
a
was
stud.
fucking
Right.
Yeah. And he did that thing. He like crossed one of his eyes.
Yeah.
Like
oh,
sometimes it was
he's
like,
a really good actor. as
he
it
was
turns out.
awesome. He was awesome in this movie. And again, it's a Terry Gilliam movie, so it's completely like off the wall. If you haven't seen 12 Monkeys, like what are we doing?
Get in there.
Nice. The ending's great too. So
yes, it is for sure.
Yep. So that's good. Let's see. Another favorite of mine, Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay. I figured you'd mention this one.
I think we have to mention this one as one of the greatest action adventure, post-apocalyptic action adventure movies of all time.
Wow. Yeah, I can't really steer you wrong there. No,
the argument could be made. And not to do 2 for 1 here, but it's up there with like Terminator 2.
I was gonna say Terminator needs to be mentioned if we're talking like action apocalypse.
Like Terminator 2, I think is better than Terminator.
Me too.
But this is in the conversation with that movie, and it's in dispute. Like it has to be in the conversation as the best action. I can't say the whole thing. The end of times action movie.
Action apocalyptic film.
And this movie just rules. It's cool. Kind of like John Wickian, where like when someone's like, "Why do you like this movie?" It's like, "Because it's fucking awesome."
If you were in like an end of days situation, and you're like a part of a group, and you guys are all just like flying around on the sand in like a 4-wheeler, and I was like, "Hey, Rye, what we want you to do is play like bass guitar on the front. Would you do that for me?"
While if I like hit like a chord and like flames shoot out of it, oh my god, I would do that all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. Just give me enough sunscreen.
Yeah, you would not do well,
or just cover me up.
Yeah,
like they cover it with, and he has a fucking awesome, the Doof Warrior. That's what they call him. It's an awesome name too. And I guess George Miller, they gave him like a backstory. Like he,
they did. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so if you read up, like the Doof Warrior has like a backstory.
All right.
Which is incredible.
Not bad. All right, Ryan, how about this one? How about in 2007, I Am Legend?
Nope.
Didn't like it.
Don't like it.
Will Smith?
Don't like it. Will Smith?
How about this? This is the premise. In 2009, a genetically re-engineered measles virus, which was originally created as a cure for cancer, turns lethal. The virus kills 90% of the population, 5.4 billion out of 6.
Yeah.
It turns 9.8% of the population into vampiric, cannibalistic mutants called dark seekers, who are extremely vulnerable to sunlight, and that group then kills 0.2 of the population who were immune to the virus. I like this movie. Now, it wasn't perfect. Why do you like it?
I want to punch myself in the ass or in the dick for saying this.
Okay.
But the book is so good. Like you just kicked your own camera.
Oh my God.
So the whole purpose, and I've said this before on the podcast when we were talking about maybe zombie movies or horror movies or whatever, but the whole purpose of the title of the book is lost in this movie. Because I've explained I've explained the plot of the book before.
Does the book not end the same way the movie ends?
No. Okay. No, the book ends. So first of all, the book it's vampires. It's a vampire book.
I like vampires.
You do like vampires, right?
Yes, I do.
And Robert Neville is an ex-soldier. He's not a doctor, but he basically he's the last guy that he knows like on Earth, and the rest of the world is vampires. And so what he does,
that's kind of the book. That's kind of the movie,
right? But he kind of goes crazy, and he starts roaming the streets during the day and finding sleeping vampires and just capturing them and like doing like experiments on them to find out like what the vampiric gene is. So at the end of the book, can I spoil this? The book's like 50 years old. If you haven't read the book, whatever.
Yeah, spoil the book.
So they capture him. There's like these vampires that can speak and have like civilization. They capture him, and at the end of the book, it's right before he's in jail, and they're going to execute him. So the idea is that like he's the monster to them.
Oh yeah, because he's like a vampire hunter.
He's like the reverse Dracula.
Oh no!
So he's the one he's like stealing vampires during the day and killing them.
Wow!
And so it's like the whole point of I Am Legend is completely lost on this movie.
Yeah, so I'll give you that. It sounds like the book's better, but
It's
without
way
having
better.
read the book, I thought the movie was at least entertaining.
I mean, that's just what it is. It was just like one of those like popcorn thing, but they wanted to end
You don't
it
think
more
Will
like
Smith
the
can
book.
open? Will Smith can open.
Well, he did open, and
I can
so
open. Yeah.
But I guess in the DVD there is an alternate ending.
Oh, is there?
Where we know like the zombies break in and like he blows them all up. You know the one with the vest, the one with the tattered vest.
Yeah.
Like he at one point, like they break into the house and they're ready to like he's got like the grenade and he's about ready to drop it, and the guy looks at him and he takes the girl one off he like stares at him and like takes the girl off the table and runs out.
Okay.
So the whole point of them going was to like save her.
Does he have a dog in the book?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, same thing happens. The dog gets bit, and then he has to put her down. You know.
Yeah, not the greatest movie of all time, but I thought it was good.
Here's a better movie for you, Richard. Now that I'm just going to go in my notes.
Prove it.
28 Days Later.
Yeah, that is a better. I like that movie.
It's a better movie.
That's a better movie.
That is a better movie. The Rage Virus. Now this is the first time. This is the first time, and this is way fucking scarier. Sprinting zombies, not like slow, like, ugh, but zombies that are just full tilt.
Why didn't we think of that? Why didn't we do a fast moving zombie movie?
Oh my god, we should have. It was right there in front of us. Like
this
how horrifying!
Awesome.
The scene in the tunnel.
Yeah,
when you just see the shadows and they're all just like, and all of them are sub 540s. Like all of those zombies can tear.
Oh, they all scoot.
Oh yeah, don't they though? I would like to see a zombie combine. See who the fastest zombie is.
Zombie combine. They got some ones that can move. Now, did you see 28 Weeks Later?
I did. Not as good.
Not as good.
Was it? How do you say
Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, so good in this.
He's got those weird eyes.
Yeah, and kind of a rip off of. Yeah, kind of rip off. Walking Dead was after this.
Oh yeah, Walking Dead was after.
But the book, I don't know if the comic books are after this, but
yeah, comic book was also after.
The idea of your protagonist waking up in a hospital, like and not really knowing what happened.
Yeah.
They
kind of Walking Dead definitely took that from them.
But
28 Days Later was good because I'll just throw in some other zombie movies here just for the sake of it. Obviously, Night of the Living Dead is sort of the first one, but both Dawn of the Deads I love.
Both Dawn of the Deads are awesome.
The remake,
especially the one in the mall.
Great.
Yeah,
great movie.
Another zombie movie that I really, really like, Shaun of the Dead, which...
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead's really good. In fact, I was going to mention it with sort of the comedy apocalypse movies.
Yeah, because there's a couple of them.
So you have Shaun of the Dead and you have Zombieland, and then This Is the End.
Which is sneaky funny.
Is really good. Like, I remember really liking it. I think going back to our digital video disc thing, that was the last like DVD I got. So, like, that was sort of like all right, we're done with this. I don't even have a DVD player anymore type of thing. But that one was funny. And those guys actually did a short years earlier called Jay and Seth versus the Apocalypse. And it was a 10-minute movie. And then they took that, and it was the same thing. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who did Superbad, they wrote that movie, and then Jay Baruchel and Seth Rogen did the movie, and then they just made it so much bigger. And they obviously brought in all their other friends like James Franco, Craig Robinson, and then Danny McBride, who to me,
he killed it.
Like he owns that movie. He's the best part of that.
And one of the best parts of that movie too is like everyone kind of hates Jonah Hill.
They hate Jonah Hill.
They lean into it a little bit. Like
he's like so over the top about how he like is now like a big time actor.
Yeah.
And then the stuff with Michael Cera is so good.
It really. Him he's getting like drunk and like smacking Rihanna's ass.
Smacking Rihanna. Oh my god, is that funny?
And I love was it Craig Robinson with his towel? Like yeah. When I was a little bit heavier, I would have thought about wearing a towel like to parties just to like.
Smart.
And he's wearing a shirt. He's wearing a shirt that I leaned to my wife when we were watching the movie and I asked her to get me that shirt and she said no. Do you remember what it said on his shirt?
Oh my god. I remember what it said.
Take yo panties off.
And that's the song that he sings.
And that's
Take your panties off.
Yep.
Take your panties off.
That's just a good
That's just a good shirt and it's a good message too.
Yeah.
You're assuming you know the lady well.
Another sneaky kick-ass movie, and I don't know if this counts as like.
I was just gonna say real quick, the Channing Tatum cameo is very good in that movie too.
That is good, yeah.
Very good.
I don't know if this counts. You tell me.
All right.
Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Um,
It's like a sci-fi
yeah,
thing.
that one, I guess,
I don't think a
could
lot.
be.
It's like a global war with like aliens, but that movie fucking rules.
Yeah.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah, like the alien, like, do you count alien movies as apocalypse movies?
That's the thing. Like, just Independence now, because
Because I guess
we
technically
win.
Independence Day would.
Yeah, but we win though, so it doesn't really like what's the other one? The other Tom Cruise movie, War of the Worlds. Does that count?
Probably.
Yeah.
I didn't have it on my list. That's not like what I was thinking.
All right.
So one that I'll put on here, and we've talked about this a bunch on the podcast, and this one I think definitely qualifies. That would be 10 Cloverfield Lane. Do
11?
you think? No, 10. 10.
Okay.
You're thinking across the street. Nothing
across the
happened
street.
there.
Yeah, nothing happened over there. Yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane is so good too. Because first of all right, it's the Cloverfield universe. Cloverfield would also, I guess, that would qualify
Technically, but then we get into like this is the problem. Like if you go Cloverfield, all right, now we have to talk about Godzilla. Now we have to talk about King Kong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's a road
right.
I don't want to go down. But
whereas, so in this movie, and you don't know what's real and what's not as the viewer, and so Mary Elizabeth Winstead wakes up in like this bunker, and John Goodman is like trying to convince her that like he saved her, and like you basically there's an airborne virus, so like you can't even go outside.
Like
and
right
you're
now.
like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so, but it's first of all, the movie's just so good because the three people in it are all incredible. But as the audience, you're like, is John Goodman a psychopath or did he really like save her life?
And
you don't know.
Find out.
Kind of maybe he did.
A little bit of both.
Maybe a little bit, maybe column A and column B.
Yep.
For Mr. Goodman. But that movie's badass. It
was on my list. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead, friend of the podcast, is very
friend of the pod, one of the great actresses of our or any generation.
Let's talk about this one.
Okay.
I want to get your take on this because I think we talked about it before. And that movie is Bird Box.
I would say it's kind of like a good gatekeeper movie, whereas all the movies I believe that we've mentioned so far are better than it.
Yeah.
Except for those first like 3 that we said were shit.
Yep.
Bird Box was a movie that I'm glad I saw, but I have no desire to see it a second time, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it either.
No, but it had such hype attached to it.
Yeah.
And,
Sandra Bullock.
If anything, it was a birth control PSA as to like why to not have kids.
Yeah.
You know?
A little bit.
It
was also basically A Quiet Place, but with
eyes.
Don't look.
Don't look. They could have called it like Don't Look.
Don't look.
We haven't talked about A Quiet Place yet.
I don't like the movie. You do.
I do. I think it was good enough. I don't think it was like 98 on Rotten Tomatoes good. I thought because remember it came out
now. What would your hashtag dork score be for it right now?
4.5. I keep giving out 4.5s. What's with that?
I know it's because it's an easy way to cover it because we don't see a lot of movies that you don't want to see. But it's
no. You know what? I'm gonna stick with it. I will give it 4.5. 4.5. Yeah. I think I gave it a 5.
Yeah, maybe.
First time. I liked, and I think it came out like 2 weeks after Get Out, and I liked Get Out so much more.
Yeah, it was right around the same time, and they both were like 100% Rotten Tomatoes when they did come out.
Speaking of really good on Rotten Tomatoes, the other one I want to bring up too is Children of Men. You remember that movie?
Yeah, that was on my list.
Yeah,
I saw that in the theater.
Heavy.
Basically, so it came out in 2006, and the premise is 2009, women lose the ability to have children.
Right.
So now you're like, fuck, we're basically facing extinction. And then they find one girl that is pregnant.
Yes.
And it's a whole thing. And Clive Owen's in it. It's a really good movie.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. Isn't Handmaid's Tale kind of a similar? I haven't seen it, the show.
No.
Isn't it like only certain women can have babies or something?
It's something weird
like
that. Or like they have to they make them have babies. It's something with babies and women. I don't know. We haven't brought up Outbreak yet.
Yeah, I mean that was sort of like the whole idea, like the premise.
Yeah.
Like,
Planet of the Apes, the remakes.
Not
Rise
terrible.
Of the Planet, they're fucking great.
You like them?
They're great. I love those movies.
Yeah.
Not the Wahlberg, not the Tim Burton one, but the one.
No, I know what you're talking about.
The Caesar saga. Yeah, I think is really, really good.
They are pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really good.
How
Not a
about
bad
this
one.
one? How about this
Yeah.
one? This well, you might not like this one. This could be kind of cheesy, but I remember at the time thinking it was pretty good.
Mhm.
Where do you stand on Armageddon?
Oh, it's just so Michael Bay.
It's very Michael Bay, but you got to remember, as a 14-year-old, which is
As a
how old I
yep.
was when it came
Yep.
out, and I'll also remember this because 14-year-old was like classic go to the movies and you're smooching, right? You're making out
with a babe.
You go there with a
Yep.
with a beautiful dame and you're making out during the movie. I remember specifically liking this movie so much that I went with like my lady friend, did not make out the whole movie because I was so into the movie.
You're into
and
the
that
movie.
was like broke up a streak of like just necking the whole time.
I think I saw Billy Madison in the theaters 3 times because it meant it was a guaranteed smooch. It was an empty netter. It was a guaranteed smooch for me.
An empty netter.
Yeah. That's okay. I love the story though that Ben Affleck tells when he's talking to Jerry Bruckheimer and he's like, wouldn't it make more sense to teach astronauts how to drill than teach like engineers how to like be astronauts? And you know what Michael
100%.
Bay's response was?
What?
Shut up.
Not much of a movie in that.
Like, just shut up. Like,
yeah,
just do the thing, right?
I thought Steve Buscemi was a delight in that movie.
He really was.
I mean, it was definitely. It probably doesn't stand up at all.
But no, again, I bet it doesn't age well.
For most of our audience, when you saw that when you were like in middle school or high school, like it was pretty good.
And it set in motion the Liv Tyler's career of playing the wife or girlfriend who cries a lot.
It did. It gave her that.
It gave her that. So that
and
was
then she was in that music video for
that was before, and then they did the song, which I couldn't get away from.
Yeah.
Forever. We talked about the Terminator movies.
Yep.
One thing. What was the? Do we have to bring up? Shit.
I got one
train of thought. I got 2 more.
Okay. And if you guys want, if you guys that are on YouTube, if you guys want to throw some questions or something for the end, we can definitely take a handful of questions if you want to do that.
So I got The Road.
Oh yeah, Road's not bad.
The Road is really good. A phenomenal book, which is on that bookshelf back there. And the last one I'm going to bring up, and this is it's so bad it's good.
Okay,
I love these movies. Both Escape from New York and Escape from LA.
Yeah,
awesome,
nice.
And the best worst apocalyptic movie I've ever seen. And I believe I have to Google it. You can hear I know you can hear my keyboard right now, but
yeah, it's all good. Give it a big.
There's a movie called 6 String Samurai.
Okay.
Which the premise of the movie is that it's set in an alternate universe, and the Russians nuked the United States. Somehow, Elvis Presley becomes king of the United States. And he dies.
Okay.
And so all of these rockabilly, there's a guy, the 6 String Samurai, the main character of the movie looks like Buddy Holly. And he has a guitar and a sword. And he's traveling to Vegas to be the new king. And he has to fend off attackers. It's the dumbest fucking movie, but I love it. I love it. Awesome.
Is that available anywhere?
Probably not.
Okay.
But you can Bing it. You can Bing it and see that it is a real movie that I saw. It is the post-apocalyptic version of The Night Flyer.
Oh, for Christ's sake. I'm not going to watch that.
You are not going to watch it.
No, but if you do, let Davey know at RVonD on Twitter. You can email us, dorkpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if you saw it. Ryan, the last one I actually have the poster behind me. One half of the Grindhouse films, Planet Terror.
Nah, I don't know.
Dude, it was good. What are you talking about?
It was good. It was Robert Rodriguez. Was it Robert Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Did that one? Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Rodriguez. You got Rose McGowan as one of like the leads. And
that's funny you mentioned that. I'm glad that was your last one.
Yeah. I like that. I like that movie very much. Yeah. I think it's very entertaining. Bruce Willis also involved in this one. Geez, Bruce Willis is in like a handful of these, huh?
He's a post-apocalyptic warrior, man.
He's popping up in a few of these.
Oh, someone just brought up World War Z. World War Z was good. Solid.
Are you gonna say
could have been better?
You're gonna say the book was better?
No.
Okay.
I just like.
Yeah, somebody brought up.
Things,
what about San Andreas? I don't think I saw San Andreas.
I never saw San. It was like, what was it? Dante's Peak, Volcano, and San Andreas like all came out
Yeah.
at the same time, like those disaster movies.
Army of Darkness, does that count?
No,
I don't
because it's set
know.
in the past.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
We both love that movie, but I don't think it.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It just
I don't
doesn't
think
really
it
fit the
I
category.
don't think it counts. But yeah, it's a pretty good list of movies. I don't think none of them are like my favorite. Like when I look back, like unless you want to count Infinity War, which is sort of a different kind of thing altogether. Unless you want to count that one, they're like movies that I like, but I don't know if I love. Like I mean, I enjoy Planet Terror. I enjoy Dawn of the Dead. I enjoy 10 Cloverfield Lane. Like they're all like B+, A- movies to me.
See, the ones I love are Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer. And Mad Max.
Those are your three?
Those are my three that I like. I love those movies. Oh, Book of Eli. Yeah. I'll take that.
I did like Book of Eli. That's a good one.
Eli's good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Book of Eli was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although, if you take Denzel out of it,
no,
I don't think I like it nearly.
Still got Mila Kunis in it.
Yeah, you do got Mila Kunis
and Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, best actor of the last 40 years, probably.
Yeah, Gary Oldman is good. Good shit.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
It's good shit. We don't bust his chops much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. David keeps trying to tell us Titanic. I would not say that is an apocalypse movie. That was just
it is not an apocalypse movie. It's something that happened one time. A boat sank. Doesn't fit. I've never seen the movie, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Anything else on apocalypse movies, Ryan?
No. Let's get to the picks.
All right, pick of the pod time, Ryan. Would you like to kick, receive, defer, or defend a goal?
I will receive.
All right. What do you have?
I have two. And
shit.
You brought one up. Speaking of Robert Rodriguez, I finally watched Alita: Battle Angel.
Oh, the one that came out this year?
Yeah, and like
or last year,
it came out last year.
Was it good?
It's good.
Oh shit, I'll watch that.
It's like I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Okay.
Christoph Waltz is in it. Jennifer Connelly's in it.
Wow.
You
like Jennifer Connelly, I understand.
I come to understand that. Yes,
I've come to understand over our days.
I started watching the third season of Castlevania on Netflix. It gets better.
So I watched the first season and I remember being, what's the term? Bored to death.
Underwhelmed.
So I remember skipping the second season.
It gets better. It actually does.
Oh, speaking of skipping seasons and then maybe watching it again,
mm-hmm.
because we are in, let's call it unfamiliar territory with how the world is going right now, Ryan.
Sure. Yeah.
Westworld is back.
I did watch last night.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I watched season 1 and thought it was good. I bailed. I don't even know if it was midway through season 2. I was confused and I hated it.
Sure.
So I did not finish season 2. Season 3 is out now, and one review that I saw was like, it's nothing like the first 2 seasons. And then they said for better or for worse.
Yeah. So the first season, like you said, it was good, and I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do with this. And I was watching an interview with Aaron Paul, and he said, like, the thing I loved about the show is they are not afraid to like take a big swing at something. And I think the first season they hit, the second season they missed. They took a big swing and missed.
So do you think I can watch season 3 without finishing season 2?
I would do a catch up because there were things that they showed in the recap that I'm like,
that'd be tough.
There's things that happened in the recap that I was like, oh shit, that happened. Like I totally forgot about that. But it is completely different. And it's there's a great cameo in the first episode.
Okay.
That you will love it, and it's the character's name is Giggles.
Giggles.
Mm-hmm. Let me just tell you who it is.
Yeah,
it's Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, you know what? There was a report that he's in like a lot of the season, apparently.
Yeah, his character's name is Giggles.
All right. Well, I should probably watch this.
And he has this awesome. It's a T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
But it has like different moods, and whatever mood he's in, it like lights up.
It's a mood ring shirt.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, actually.
And he's like the first time he has very few lines, but the lines he delivers are fucking great.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check it out. There's not a lot on.
Just to watch Marshawn Lynch act. It's awesome.
Like Curb Your Enthusiasm, I finally caught up.
I watched the first 2 episodes.
I might be actually one behind. But anyway, there's some really good like cameos this season.
You said Vince Vaughn was one of
Vince
them?
Vaughn's in it. I was like,
Yeah.
nobody told me Vince Vaughn was in it, and he was great.
I just watched the one with he gets what's his name's Jeff's wife, the oil painting, and he uses the lawyer's bathroom.
Yeah, that's the whole season's been great.
Yeah, it's pretty
good.
You
saw Megan Ferguson in the first like 3 or 4 episodes.
Was it Alice? Is that her name in the show?
I think so, like a secretary or whatever she was.
Secretary, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yep. She did, and again, just to reiterate, she is not, I would say we know Megan Ferguson.
Yeah.
Not friends. She did not care for...
No, she didn't like us.
I think she tolerated me. I think she actively disliked you.
Oh, I think there was a good amount of passion there on that end of not liking me. However, when we tweeted about her, she did respond.
She did.
So maybe she's matured.
We're all older now. It's been 20 years. Maybe
older, wiser, that kind of thing.
We are much more tolerant of people,
especially if you're going to be in one of my favorite TV shows.
Yeah. And she was in Boardwalk too. So
she was in Boardwalk and in Mad Men.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to that I love Mad Men necessarily, but shout out to Megan Ferguson.
Yep.
Ryan, I pick up the pod, and I tweeted about this last week, but Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah,
was on HBO. Good? Pretty good. Like for
do you need to see the other Annabelles?
No.
Okay, it's just
like as long as you have sort of like a rough idea of like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
So like you have the Conjuring.
Are the Warrens in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like good. And I was thinking back to 2019, like when we were going through all the movies that we saw, it was pretty much a shit year for horror. And so I'm like, I don't know if there's a better horror movie. Like maybe Brightburn, if you want to consider Brightburn horror. And it kind of is.
That's more sci-fi to me.
Yeah, maybe. And it's like also like superhero, like, But I thought it was better than It Chapter 2. It was sure as shit better than Us or Ma or I don't even like what else even qualifies as horror from a year ago. So like anyway, it's worth it. And it's streaming on HBO right now.
Better than Ma?
I know. Oh, fuck. The other thing. Actually, this movie was probably close to it. Did you end up watching the CM Punk movie, Girl on the Third Floor?
Half of it.
Hated it that much.
It stunk.
How do you watch half of like a 90-minute movie?
Okay, so the first 20 minutes of the movie is him just taking his finger and poking holes in the house.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of destruction to the house.
Yeah, and like getting douched with like what?
So you hated it.
What? Okay, here's the thing.
You didn't finish it.
I've done some home improvement before.
Sure you have. A little DIY. Nothing wrong with that.
DIY.
Yeah.
I know enough to be dangerous.
Okay.
If there's a clogged pipe, don't hit it with a fucking hammer, moron.
Well, he's kind of got like a checkered past though.
Oh yeah, he has no idea. But like, if you saw, okay, here's the other thing that bothered me too. So I didn't like the movie. You didn't like the movie. You didn't finish. I didn't like the movie.
You probably would have hated it then if you finished it.
So remember that he was trying to plug in the drill.
Yeah,
the drill didn't. It had battery and then just died. It just didn't work.
Yeah,
and then he went over and there was like jizz coming out of the plug. And then he like kind of like touched it and like he like poked it with his finger and like looked at it and did the thing where he like rubbed it between his fingers. And then he plugged it in. Would you ever plug anything into that socket?
I wouldn't plug it in. And I'm not like Mr. Fix-It by any means, but like I know well enough not to do that. I'm not fucking around with that.
But he was trying to do like a Bruce Campbell thing, I feel like. Like he had like a lot of like Bruce Campbell like
it's very Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
It's very
but
Bruce
not
Campbell.
Very good.
So how many stones would you give it?
I didn't finish it. NA.
Fuck.
NA.
Are you gonna go back?
I'm gonna go back. I have to finish it now because I have to
finish it now. I think you're gonna really hate it.
Yeah.
Was there like a woman that came into the house yet? Have you seen her?
I saw. So she did like the, and he's like, what? He's like, and she's like, I just like it here. That would be the creepy.
Yeah. Like the blonde girl, right?
Nipples through the shirt. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
blasting nip through the shirt.
I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. So you did see her.
I did see the girl, and I'm assuming she's the one from the third floor. And I think I saw a trailer. It was
you don't know anything.
No, I do. I saw that in the trailer. There was like that was a brothel at one point.
What do you think of CM Punk, the actor?
I don't think he should do that ever again.
You think he's done with acting?
I think he's a more successful MMA fighter than he is an actor.
He got his ass
And
handed
he
to him
got
a couple of times.
did he ever?
I give him credit. I overall like CM Punk.
I would call Vince McMahon today and beg for my job back. Is what I would do.
Listen, he's out there fighting professional mixed martial arts, and he's acting in movies. He's living the dream.
That's okay.
Now, listen, whether he's trash at both of them is not me to say. I'm not a critic. He wasn't great at it. He wasn't great at it.
He was not great. And he was serving the Bruce Campbell vibes a little too much.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely leaning into that a little bit. He's a big horror fan, I think.
I'm sure.
Ryan, do you want to take a couple of listener questions?
Yeah, let's take some questions.
This one comes in from Matthew.
Yeah.
What kind of sword do you have? Well, I believe it's an Hattori Hanzo sword.
What is this? What is this little graphic you did?
I can pop up the questions. So get your questions in. I can pop them right up. It's a fucking cool little thing. So
that is a cool little thing.
So fucking chat them up, and we'll put them in here.
Yeah.
I don't really know, to be honest, what kind of sword it is, but I'll tell you what I did do. Sawed through a coconut last night. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Hot knife full coconut. And now you'll notice the video kind of cuts out at the end.
Yeah.
That's because a good amount of the coconut shrapnel came flying back at my wife, and she was ducking for cover.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, Richard, would it be, I might break the bow back out and start shooting at cans in my yard.
If you're bow and arrow guy and I'm sword guy, we could be trouble to run into.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm thinking, and again, not to make light of the situation that's going on, but we're only like a few weeks away from like me having to go into people's houses and to take their shit with my sword.
Right.
So
we are not far off from like having to have these skills. I should probably sharpen it up a little bit.
CT Rebel says Rise of Skywalker is available on Amazon, and he says it's worth the buy.
No, I think he's asking, is it worth the buy?
No, I think it would be.
For $25, wait
till
I get it at 10.
I'd wait.
Get it at 10.
Good question here from James. Is the Idle Hands live show still on, or has it been canceled? We're in a weird space with that because the live show is scheduled for April 19th. So I certainly wouldn't hold your breath. It's not officially canceled, but I don't love its chances. Just the way things are going, right?
Just the way things are going. I don't know. Because didn't you send me a thing? They're scheduled to open back up the 17th, and we're supposed to be in there the 19th. So it's a very tight window.
I don't know. I feel like every day things are changing. Yeah. So like I don't know, to be honest.
It's a very fluid situation right now with Idle Hands. And I do want to be there. It is one of the things I look forward to. I don't get out of my house much. And before this, I didn't get out of my house much. So
I actually don't mind the social distancing. You know me, Ryan. If I never have to leave my house again, I'm actually kind of thrilled with it.
I know you. So CT Rebel was saying it is worth it to buy. Okay, so it is worth it to buy that.
Okay.
I agree. I did like that movie.
Yeah.
And CT Rebel, question for you. Where are you from? And are you affected by the stink bugs as much as I am?
Oh, yeah. He asked you about stink bugs.
Talk about stink bugs.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey McNamara commenting on my weight. Yeah. That's so.
You do. You look good.
You can actually see my. It's funny. Like, I haven't lost a ton of weight, but like, I'm like losing inches, which is what I wanted,
Losing inches?
Yeah.
You don't want to lose inches.
No, I do not.
That's
on
the last
my body.
Thing you want.
No, but the thing is, losing inches where I'm losing them, it makes those inches look bigger.
I immediately. Oh, I got you. I was thinking something different.
You know what I'm saying? No, actually, not that. Yeah.
Matthew asks, he says, Keith, my wife is interested in how you're doing with your New Year's resolution. Not great, Matthew. And I'll be honest, I think coronavirus has some effect on that. What?
I'm just thinking of your New Year's resolution. I just remember what it was.
Oh, it was to get bigger and last longer.
Yeah.
Not great, Matthew.
For a guy who weighs more soft. It's kind of an he's ice skating uphill at this point.
I mean, if you guys have any tips in the chat, that'd be great. We'll take them.
Yep.
Let's go to this one here. From Jay Page. Rich, are you going to remote to the radio show like Dale is? Yeah, so here's the update on the show. The Dale and Keefe show will roll on. So every day, 10 to 2, we will be on. They've already set up Dale so he doesn't have to leave his house.
So how do I get on in this action?
I know.
Like, how
Well,
do I get in on this?
You need to get one of these like crazy boxes and have an engineer install it.
Get Shaun to run down to my house. I'll meet him halfway.
No, I know.
I can do that myself.
So right now, my plan is to still commute to the station, but I don't know, that could change because Dale doesn't have to go to the station. Dale's a little bit more at risk than I am, though.
Look at me, big Bruins guy.
Big B's guy.
Big Bruins guy. You want to talk?
Yeah.
Well, it's never. Like I said, I tweeted out, and first of all, WEEI follows me on Twitter now.
Finally,
which is the shit because now they see me. I'm like that kid who's like dad, like always like denied the paternity, but now they're like, oh yeah, we went to Maury and like they did the paternity test, and now like he's recognizing himself as my dad.
Yeah, finally.
You know,
finally.
These are sweet hats, by the way. 47 is doing
That's a nice hat, dude.
They're doing. See the other one's behind me, over that shoulder.
I can't see that, dude. I'm not Davey Eyeballs.
They're player design. Bruins did like every year they do player design hats, and this one's actually sweet. The second best hockey player to ever come out of Weymouth, Massachusetts. If you look on the thing, there's a little state of Massachusetts.
Oh, I like that.
And the star is where Weymouth is.
Oh,
so Charlie Coyle. This is Charlie Coyle's hat. By the way, if you were wondering, I am the best hockey product to ever come out of Weymouth, Massachusetts. So
you're not from Weymouth.
I was born there.
When did you move to Nashville?
I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yep. South Shore kid, man. Married a North Shore girl, which
there's a civil war of sorts.
It is a civil war of
Ryan,
sorts.
next week on the podcast, we are going to stay super topical.
Yep.
What do you say we do Tom Hanks movies?
I think we owe him that. No, we owe him that. I'm not saying
we're celebrating the life of Tom Hanks. I'm saying Tom Hanks is going to beat this thing. He's going to be fine.
He's going to be fine.
But we're going to talk Tom Hanks movies. He's been in a lot of movies. Some great, some good, some not so much. But we're going to talk about them all.
I have to watch Bachelor Party again.
You have to watch them all.
I do have to watch them all.
You have to watch them all.
So we did pick of the pod. No, Tom Hanks is not a pick of the pod.
Tom Hanks is not the pick of the pod. Come on.
No.
That's rude.
Are we doing let's do some more questions. You do more questions? You want to get out of here? We've been on this an hour.
I can do a few more. People want to jump in here. Yeah. Let me just say this too. You can rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at DORK Podcast. You can check us out on YouTube, which a bunch of people are doing right now. We're going to be streaming these episodes on Monday nights. Just go to youtube.com/DORK Podcast. You can subscribe right there. We'll usually tweet out a link before we go live as well. Davey's going to be twitching during this pandemic as well. Twitch.tv/RVaughnD. Playing a lot of Call of Duty with Shime Time.
And I did an impromptu guitar one on Sunday, and people were loving it.
And you actually have something kind of cool coming out as well that you want to tell the people about?
Oh, yeah. So I'm a teacher by trade. So one of the things that we have to start doing now is distance learning. So I have to video my classes and have kids like interact with me. So one of the things I thought was going to be like really cool is if you guys want to learn Latin, if you want to see like what it is, like what I do in like digital media class, if you guys want to, the whole fourth quarter, I'm supposed to be teaching Watchmen. So that's going to start.
Watchmen in.
So like I'm doing a graphic novels class and the whole fourth quarter is Watchmen.
Let me ask you this. Are you going to hit on the movie or TV show at all, or strictly the book?
So it's going to be kind of like homework assignments, be like, watch this specific episode. So I'll have them watch like the Hooded Justice episode, which was kind of like a one-off, and be like, what does that, once we get to that point in the book, be like, does this change anything in the book? I thought the best part about that was, and I hope that none of my students are watching this down because this would be a spoiler. But like one of the coolest things about that was that it gave you a whole bunch of more information about that character that was like a side character. It didn't fundamentally change anything about the source material.
No, it didn't, but it added a lot.
It added a lot to it. So does that take, so having that conversation with them, and I would ask that if you guys do want to audit that class, that like silently audit it, like sit in the back and like let me do my thing.
Yeah.
Like don't be like, ugh. But the point is I'm going to be doing those on Twitch. I'm going to be live streaming them on Twitch.
Cool.
So there'll be Latin lessons, digital media, graphic novels. I'm just going to be all over the place. But yeah, if you guys are Latin students, come on in to Latin 1. You know,
I like that very much. I've never taken a Latin class, so maybe I'll jump in there. Ryan, this question comes in from Fluxy Baby. What is the most boring video game you have ever played?
Boring video game.
You know what? This is, people might have a little backlash to this because it's overall a good video game. But I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 was overall pretty boring.
The story itself, the action was good. The story itself was boring.
There was a lot of downtime in it.
There's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
And I think, so in talking to my friend Eric Monticelli at Marvel Games, he's like, that game, he's like, it's so big and it's so immersive. He's like, it's not even like a narrative driven game. It's a cowboy simulator.
Yeah.
I'm like,
right.
that's exactly exactly what
agree.
it is. Some of the most boring games I've ever played. I can't really think of anything that's boring. I got bored with the last Tomb Raider game.
Okay. You know what was super boring was the Borderlands Telltale game.
Yeah, you didn't like that at all.
Oh, it sucked. It sucked so bad. So like Telltale, I normally like. Telltale Walking Dead was one of my favorite. Telltale Batman was good, and it's the choose your own adventure, and so there's a lot of like, cut scenes, and then like, all right, what do you want to do? And then that was so like the Borderlands one was tedious.
I'm trying to see. Realm Royale was boring.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think, like the last Fallout 76 sucked.
Yeah.
I really wanted to like that game and didn't. I wouldn't say there's anything like boring. Just games I wanted to like and didn't like. I
hear you.
AOF baseball season delayed. Yes, indefinitely. The school, our sister school, we're an all boys school, and our sister school, Miss Porter's, they're out for the rest of the year. They're done. Distance learning the rest of the year. So it's like I said, it's a very like fluid situation right now. I could be teaching from home for the rest of the year. It's crazy to think about.
That is nuts.
Yeah,
absolutely nuts. So we're gonna still be podcasting once a week here. So thanks for everybody for checking this out and downloading the episode and listening, everything else. Who knows? Depending on how things play out with both of us, maybe we'll even add some micro dorks or something else along the way.
Or if there's anything, I was thinking about it too. If there's anything that you guys want to see us talk about specifically, like alone, like that could be like a good micro dork. Like if you'd email us and be like, I want Rich to talk about sword movies, or I want Davey to talk about like the best books that have been turned into movies. Not the best movies that have been from books, but the best books that were turned into movies. Flip it.
Love it.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right, dudes. Well,
that's a good one. Talk about each other. I'll just do a podcast talking about you. And like my version of like you. Yeah.
So then Davey said this.
Then he said this.
All right, good stuff. I got nothing else. Stay safe out there. Be smart. You don't need to hear it from me. You've been hearing it from everywhere else. So hopefully we can be a little bit of an escape for you.
Yeah.
At least a few times a week or whatever else it is. Davey, you usually have wiser words than me.
Yeah. So if you guys like, again, we're all in this together. Feel free. We are like, I know a lot of people say we are very active on like Twitter and stuff. Reach out to Dork Podcast. Reach out to me directly. Like, I'm like craving like human contact. Like right now, like other than my kids and my wife,
right?
I feel like I'm annoying her way more than like vice versa. But because I get like super restless, I get like super cabin fever. So wash your hands. Yeah, don't touch your face. What does Google say too? 6 feet. Stay 6 feet away from people. Don't leave your house. Don't be a jackass. I know tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. Like
celebrate at home.
Yeah, and by the way, happy belated birthday to Rich Keefe, everybody.
Thank you very much.
To the best podcast host in the biz.
Thank you.
Who's not Joe Rogan. I guess
he's very good. Joe Rogan's he's the best. He's the best.
Yeah. Fucking A, man.
All right, fucking A. Take it easy out there.
Take it easy, or you take it the other way.
Oof. Yikes.
I don't know.